to do it.
Okay, we're recording.
All right, guys. Well, happy Tuesday to everybody. Sorry for that. Don't know why Zoom is not allowing me to log in and run this operation this morning. But wanted to start out because it's Tuesday. We've got a whole bunch of celebrations, a bunch of rank advancements. So I'm looking to see who's on here. But first of all, I see we've got Ruth Hurt. Ruth rank advanced to bronze. Congratulations, Ruth. And let's see here, as I find everybody who's on here who rank advanced. Ruth, would you mind just sharing a little bit with us what you did to finish up yesterday?
Well, part of it is we never made the commitment, so to speak. You know, they say that you can make a decision, but you have to have a plan. And Scott and I sat down because my situation, we weren't in a good place before we came on this team. So he was a little gun shy about really investing. So I've been kind of piecemealing, you know, orders to get so I can demonstrate. And we just finally made the decision to get the Have It All pack because, like Ruth and Trisha have told us, people will do what we do. And that was the one piece that I hadn't done. So we made that decision, and that's what we did. And we just moved forward.
And you had everything else. You already had volume in other places. You had everything
right.
else.
Yep. That was the one piece. So we had started, don't do what I say, do what they do. If we'd done it at the beginning, but it's water, it all worked, and here we are. So, yep.
So would you agree then that people won't do as you say? They only will do what you do for the most part? Is that
absolutely. People are already calling now, people that I've been kind of engaging with for the last few months. And once they saw that, they're like, oh. So I'm like, do what Trisha and Ruth tell us to do. It works. Do it. Do it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I love it. Congratulations.
I just want to shout out to Ruth because, you know, since she came on board and joined our team, she's really been in action. Like, you've been busting it and you've been getting out of your comfort zone. And we are so proud of you, Ruth. And if you just keep doing what you're doing, you're going to get everything that you want.
Absolutely. You're welcome. Awesome. Love it. So we actually had some other rank advancements. I'm not seeing everybody on here, but we had Eric Williams, who also rank advanced to bronze. We had, yay, Eric. We had Barb Naseby, who also rank advanced to bronze. Was so excited. I was actually hoping she was going to be on this morning because she was out yesterday demoing product, and all of a sudden I start seeing order after order after order coming in, and I messaged her and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, this is amazing. And she's like, I just started showing product to people, and guess what? They're buying. So it's amazing, guys. That's how great these products are. They really have to just get product on people and they will buy the product. And, you know, here's what typically happens. You know, you're going to have a couple of different types of people, right? Just think about this. You're going to have people who only ever want to be product users, and that's okay. And then you're going to have people who want to build a business, and that's okay, right? We're going to love them both for where they are, and that it's completely fine. But it's all going to start with getting product on people, right? Because even somebody who's looking at the opportunity, a lot of times, unless they're already in the industry and they're just straight up really trying to find a better place than where they're at, it's going to start with the product, right? It's going to start with understanding what the product is. And so it leads me into these experience packs. Everybody's probably so sick and tired of talking about these experience packs. But I can tell you, hands down, this is what's going to get people into your business. Because it's truly, especially when you're building online, right? Think about this. You've got to build an.
Oh, you muted, Trish.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I got muted, but anyway, you've got to build some kind of know, like, and trust with people. You've got to build up some type of influence. But part of your influence online as you're building it can be offering these experiences. And, you know, Ruth's been doing some demos for you guys and sharing like how she's doing it in Instagram stories and things like that. Because you can go live in Instagram stories and then it goes away, right? People don't see it. So, and I've also seen her posting her stories. I've seen Whitney doing some stuff, but being able to, even the leads that you find online, being able to offer this type of experience, it's going to not only get you customers, but it is going to get you new business partners and agents in your business, right? Because what's going to happen is as people try these products, they're going to be like, oh, wow, okay, these are actually pretty good. And most people are going to tell you, in order for them to want to sell or represent something, they need to believe in the product. Well, this will allow them to start believing in the product right away and understand that these products are as good as you say these products are, right? Does that make sense to everybody? The other thing is, so as they start using these products, a lot of people are going to be like, well, gosh, maybe I should sell this. Now, I want to share that scenario because when we market online, a lot of times, obviously, we're talking to that avatar, right? And that's why there's two avatars. You've got your customer and you've got your business. But it doesn't mean that there's not overlap, right? Because you've got people who are always going to be a customer. You've got people who are always just going to want to be a business partner, and then you will find overlap. And most of that overlap is going to be from those people who try the products first. And I wanted to share that little piece because when I got introduced to this industry, I was not looking for a business. I knew nothing about network marketing. I mean, I didn't even know that. I didn't know what a pyramid scheme was. I didn't know what network marketing was. I didn't know what any of that stuff was. What I did know is I tried some products that I really liked, and then they invited me to the next thing, right? So just like we do here, how we're moving people through that wheel of activity, like that's the reason that this wheel of activity is so important, because as people try the products, right? Some people are going, not everybody, but some people are going to want to try and do the business. Now, let me ask you, how many of you would want me on your team? Just out of curiosity. How many of you would want to be the person who recruited me into this company? Now, I'm not saying that to brag, but I'm just saying probably we're all looking for, we're all always looking for those leaders, right? When I came into this industry, I was not a leader and I knew nothing about it, but I did try a product and the person put me through the system. And that's how I got here today. So whether you're working towards getting customers or whether you're working towards getting business partners, a lot of it is still going to start with this. Whether you're in going into homes, which most of you are not, but you might be, or whether you've got a way to do it online, it's still going to start with these products. And from there, you're going to find the product users. From there, you're going to find the business builders. And then there will be some who cross over. Okay. So I just really kind of wanted to share that because yes, as we market, we've got those avatars, but I think sometimes we only want to do that one activity. And although we need that to generate some leads, you've still got to not be so rigid in the follow-up, if that makes sense. We've got to make sure we're still moving people through that system, no matter how they come to us. Hopefully that's making a little bit of sense. Everybody. Yeah. Okay. Ruth, do you want to add anything just because you're on? And I know we were just talking about some of this.
Yeah, I know. So I just want to mention that today at 2 Eastern, so a couple of hours from now, I'm actually doing a training on the Seacret Agent Bulletin Board in that group. And I'm doing a training specifically on this, how to use those experience packs and promote them on social media. So if you're interested in watching that, it'll be on in a couple of hours.
So awesome. And let's go support our leader here too. I love it. April reached out. Do you have anyone on your team? Yes, I have a whole bunch of people. And so the good news is a lot of you are going to be getting some calls because I'm going to be passing your names on to April and she's going to want you guys on there. Ruth, what time is it? 11 a.m. Pacific that you're on?
Yeah, 2 Eastern and on the Seacret Agent Bulletin Board.
Yeah, so the company group, okay? So what I wanted to do kind of next for you guys is I want to let you to, we've all been, as leaders here, we're putting our heads together and we're going to streamline some things a little bit differently for you guys. You're going to be seeing some changes over the next few weeks. We're not changing anything that we're doing. We're tweaking the system a little bit, right? So when you sit back and evaluate of what's working, what's not working, and what might need to change, we know our system works because of what we've done in this last year. We know it works, but we're going to be making a few tweaks in there. So what I wanted to do today is I wanted to, as we're always kind of teaching you guys new things, I wanted to take a little bit of time to get a little feedback from some of you to share or ask questions maybe on things that you're not 100% clear about. And we're going to be taking notes on some of these questions because we want to make sure as we're streamlining and maybe tweaking just a little bit that we're taking some of these things into consideration if it seems to be something that more than one person, might not be 100% clear on. Okay, so with that being said, is there anybody who has any questions here on with what they're doing? Okay.
Hi. Thank you guys very much.
You're welcome.
What you're saying. I'm heading into a lunch meeting with a potential agent and then another meeting at a Hallmark store. So wish me luck at the Hallmark store with the guy. I'll be logging off. See y'all. I'll watch the replay.
Hi, Genevieve.
Hey, Genevieve, I've got one question. Do you have a minute to answer a question for me?
Sure.
While you're driving? Okay.
I'm pulling into the parking lot. So go ahead.
Problem. It'll be quick. So quick question for those of you who don't know Genevieve, she has gotten out of her comfort zone and has been doing tons on social media. However, the majority of the people that she has brought into the business, whether it be customers or agents, she has done out and about. Genevieve, can you just share a couple tips on what it is you do and how you meet people everywhere you go?
Sure. Okay. For instance, the girl I'm meeting for lunch right now, I met her yesterday at Whole Foods. I was in there getting something and she asked somebody, one of the people working there, about what she could use to detox. Well, luckily my children weren't with me because they would have been mad, but I said, hey, I can tell you what I use. And the lady that was helping her really didn't have a clue. So she let me help her. And I just started chatting with her and I invited her to lunch. I said, do you want to know more about, she also plays, she plays soccer. She happened to mention to me that she plays soccer. She's on the team that's before the pro team in Raleigh. And so I told her about our molecular hydrogen recovery. And I said, you want to know more about it? She's like, yeah. I said, you want to have lunch this week? She said, sure. So I'm meeting her right now. I just pulled in. So I just will talk to anybody. I just don't really, and if they aren't interested, fine. But I mean, if you don't say, hey, or compliment somebody on their clothes or just start a conversation, it doesn't really matter what you say. And then you can find out a little about them and then offer something that might help them. That's what I do. And like with this guy at the Hallmark store, this one, I'm quite amazed he's actually going to talk to me. I'm like excited. I've never done something like this, but I'm meeting him later. And I was buying some graduation gifts and he came up and helped me. He's the owner of the store. And I asked him, I said, do you sell lotions and like salt, stuff like that in here? And he's like, sure. I said, well, would you be interested in some products from the Dead Sea? I said, nobody else in Raleigh has them. He said, sure, send me information. So I sent him an email and some information. And then I called him this morning and I'm going to see him this afternoon. So we'll see where that goes. But you just have to get out of your comfort zone and chat. Now I'm working on doing the online stuff in the groups. I'm not as good at that as a lot of you guys. I'm working on it. So that's what I'm working to get better at. But anyway.
Awesome, Genevieve. Thank you for sharing. I love that. Thank you.
See y'all later. Oh, I gotta go.
Yep. Good luck.
Thanks.
So the reason I wanted to share that, guys, is, Genevieve is out and about, but she's not necessarily just walking up to strangers and being weird about it, right? Like she's actually just having conversations with people as she's out and about as things come up, like she overhears something. So I say that because, again, if she didn't open her mouth about it, like she has brought in, I don't even know how many agents and customers, and this is how she does it. And she just talks to everybody. I know that's not everybody's comfort zone, but I share that with you because I built my first business by cold market too, but it was entirely different than this. Like I was weird. I went up to people and literally just strangers and asked them if they wanted to do a before and after makeover. It also worked, but super uncomfortable. But I share it because she's just being friendly. That's really all she's doing. She's being friendly. She's offering a little bit of information. Those who are interested get more, and those who aren't, she's like, no big deal. I had a conversation, and she moves on. So I love it because she doesn't put any stock in whether they say yes or no. None at all. Like she's just friendly to them, and some like it, some don't. So anyway, that's just very different. And you're right, Michelle, it is a good practice regardless of the outcome, right? She just is having conversations and being friendly. She's not, stalking people or anything and being weird about it. She's just doing her business, or just doing her thing and incorporating business into her everyday life. So I love that. So does anybody else have questions on anything that they're doing that they're not quite sure about with what to do? Anybody? Joanne?
I started out by saying, I'm going to do everything, like find the leaders, find the agents, do the product and do this one and do that one. And then I get into this not being focused. Would it make, because then I'm trying to do like that scattergun approach. So I go from having my warm clients that I feel are warm, and then I go, okay, so then I'm going to scatter to the Facebook universe. And I'm thinking, does it make more sense with this shiny object syndrome to just focus on like, just do the drinks, just do the travel? Because if you're doing like multiple things to different people, like go back to your avatar and like start again and see who you really want to, because I'm going through long conversations with people, maybe they were not the right choice to begin with, but they expressed interest. I mean, how does that play out?
So let me ask you a question. Are these warm market people?
Yes and no. I was posting on I started out with my warm market people who are clients of mine already. Then I post on Facebook, and then I get people going, yeah, tell me about your wholesale travel, or tell me about and I don't know these people. They're not my friends. So then I get into a PM conversation, and I go down the rabbit hole, and maybe they're not a fit. And that's what I'm saying. Is there,
So
how
I think, Joanne, what it sounds like to me is that you probably just need to ask them if they'll come take a look at something and invite them. First of all, maybe hop on a Zoom, introduce yourself, have a quick little conversation, and invite them to a presentation. I think you're sharing too much information, and it's making it really confusing for people, and then they're not sure. So, but you're just giving too much information. That's why, we tell people really try and keep it simple. Maybe find out a little bit about what it is they're looking for, and just say, and then at that point say, based on what you're sharing with me, like do more asking than telling. Okay. Do a lot more asking than telling. And likely through that conversation of asking, what it is they're looking for, say, I don't know if this would be a fit for you, but I would love for you to at least take a look. And then you can make this decision after you see all the facts.
Okay, that's because I feel like I'm spending a lot of time, and I started out by sending we enrolled all these people, and then they get excited, and then I send them a 10-minute video. And then it just seems like I'm flooding them, and they're going like, I don't know. And I'm kind of going, I'm going down a rabbit hole, and I'm going, I feel like I'm just spinning my tail. I don't know.
So let me ask you, so let me ask you this. If somebody just started sending you all that stuff, how likely would you want to be to join them?
I don't know, probably not. But you see, there's that other analytical side to it. Some of these people have to pick apart stuff they want. I sent a lady a sample, and she asked me for 3 information. So I sent her more videos. She kept, there must be a thing that says they need information, because I sent her 3 videos from the.
Yeah, so there is a thing for them to do more info, and that's cool. But a great thing at that point again would be to listen.
Yeah.
Could we just hop on a quick Zoom, and I'll answer all your questions at one time for you?
Okay. Yeah.
And again, just get more information, and from there, we could get them into a presentation, or just answer, if it's more on the product side, answer those questions.
Okay.
Ruth,
right.
you leaned forward. Did you want to add anything or were you just?
No,
leaning-
I was just responding to Michelle here.
Okay, perfect. And,
My eyes are bad.
but I think, so many times, Joanne, we've all been guilty. Don't feel bad, right? But the biggest thing that I have found is if we can really, one, get them on a quick Zoom or a messenger video, right? Where we can face-to-face have a conversation. First of all, that'll build rapport, know, like, and trust. You'll start to build that. Okay. Now you're not just some weird person messaging them. Okay. So that's the first thing. But second, when you do that, you can get very specific with the questions you ask on what it is they're looking for. And if they're not very specific with their answer, ask another question that's a little more specific. Okay. But make it about them and we've got some scripts that are in the training portal as well about things to be asking, what types of questions to be asking. But it's really more about getting deeper into what they're looking for, right? And not what you have to offer. Because based on what they're looking for, that's when you can do that invite and get them to watch a quick presentation, okay? And just say, based on what you're sharing with me, I really think that this might be something you could be interested in, but that's a decision for you to make. But what I'd love to do is allow you to see 100% of the information so you could make an educated decision. Is that fair? And you're going to go, well, yeah, that sounds good. Great. We've got one today at 6 o'clock Pacific. Is it okay if I send you the link for that? And cut it off. Like one thing that, Ruth and I have taught, and I know Rob and Kathy probably and other things too, is if we give them all the information up front, we're not valuable to them, right? Because if we're giving them everything for free, there's no value behind it, right? Like with that. So asking the questions and then moving them to that next direction, okay? So then we get them on a presentation. Before the presentation, we said, great, you're going to be able to get on tonight. Awesome. Can we go ahead and set up a follow-up appointment immediately afterwards? That way, if you have any questions that you still have, or I can at least get your feedback from it. Right. So getting that next appointment already set up so you don't feel like you're chasing them down after the presentation. So they already know they're going to be getting on with you. Okay. And letting them know it's okay if they're not interested. Listen, I would love for you to take a look and you decide whether this is something for you. But so many times because we have so much information and we get so excited, we can't stop ourselves from talking. And we need to zip it, move them to the next phase and stop talking. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I invited like 3 people. I never heard back if the other few even went, but I had one person ahead of time. I said, okay, we'll get off of this. What time is good for you after the presentation at 5 o'clock? I had the conversation with her, and then, she's the one that I told you about. Mm-hmm. And we showed up for a conversation, and I never heard back if the other people went or not. And I still haven't. So
when you set an appointment, are you setting a Zoom appointment or are you setting to just message?
Telephone telephone usually.
Okay.
We did a Facebook Messenger, and some people don't really want to show their face. They prefer to have video. Yeah, just the audio, not video.
Okay. Yeah. And that's okay if some people don't want to be face to face, but just having that set time already established is good. And yes, Jessica, I know you're brand new, but yes, there is an app, and I know we've got lots of training on it. And I know Rob or Kathy can send you to where all that is as well. Perfect. So I think that sounds like what a lot of people are doing is, and I know when Ruth and I have conversations with people too, we get so excited that somebody wants information and we try to problem solve everything for them through Messenger, and you can't do that. First of all, it's a time waster for you. And second of all, you're giving too much value and too much information right then and there. They've got to be moved on to that next phase. Does that make sense? Perfect.
Thank you so much. I get too much
you're welcome.
details, and it's
yes.
it's becoming too long, and that's why I said, should I focus on one thing or something? Because it's like too much.
I think, some people are going to be more interested in travel, some people, some other stuff, but I think that's why having the conversations and seeing what they're looking for, but doing those more face to face
Yeah.
is going to be better for you. And again, then you don't have to go into a lengthy response on your part. Your job is to then move them and listen, I don't know if this is for you or not, but I would love for you to watch this quick presentation today where you're going to be able to get all the information, right? And then you can decide whether or not this is a fit for you. Does that work for you? Great. Let me send you the link. And by the way, I would love to make sure we follow up afterwards, just in case you have any additional questions, and also to get your feedback. Right. Does that work? Awesome. Let's meet on this link right after the presentation. Okay. So again, moving them through. And Michelle, yeah, some people have contacted some travel agents. We can talk about that more, and I can have a separate conversation with you. Also, Michelle, when it comes to the gyms and spas, yes, we've got some stuff on that. I'll also talk to you about that because, in fact, Ruth probably could answer some questions. Ruth's been recruiting a whole bunch of spas, like tons of them. And so I would say that Ruth would probably be the better one to talk to on that. But the big thing is if you've got businesses, Mazafar has told us, let him know, let's get those people on a Zoom with him. And I can tell you, if we get them on a Zoom with him, he will close them. And I know, Ruth, he just did something big for you with Dr. Cohn and himself. And do you mind sharing quickly?
Yeah, absolutely. So I connected with a chiropractor who actually has 3,600 clinics. And he did a call with Dr. Cohn and myself and the head guy. And they're coming on board. So it's really exciting. It's a big rollout to bring everyone on board. But yeah, if you've got something like that, if you've got a business with like multiple locations, then we can get the appropriate people on. If you've got a single business owner, like a spa, a salon, that's a conversation that either Trish or I or Rob or Kathy can have. That one's a little bit easier, but when you're starting to roll out multiple locations, it gets a little more complex.
Yeah. And if you've got somebody and you're not quite sure what to say, either Michelle, even if it's a one-on-one, I know Mazafar has said, listen, if you've got a business, get them on with me and I can help you with that. Then the bottom line is that, as strong of a closer as I am and Ruth is, when it comes to some of those businesses, Mazafar loves doing them, and rarely does somebody say no to him after they have that conversation. So he's good. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we are at time, so we are going to end it, but hopefully this was helpful to you guys, hearing some questions that people have and maybe just clarifying a little bit in the process. But congratulations again to our new bronze. So excited. And don't forget, today starts the new week, right? Today is the first day of the new week. And so we want to make sure that we are active, that we are qualified, right? Go into the back office, make sure you are active, make sure you are qualified. And then it's a race to the finish. Remember, 4 to 5 presentations a week is the magic number you want to be doing at a minimum, right? And I tonight have the presentation at 6 p.m. Pacific at the teamsynergylive.com link. And then again, don't forget, Ruth will be in the Seacret Agent Bulletin Board today at 11 a.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. So anyway, guys, have an awesome day and we'll see you tomorrow.